Okay, abusia yabem makwaba sonkoso edeba POG Media so. Yadem beko political highway ni so highway ni de. Ensem bebre so ayen so. Ya je penen se yabem yabidafo no ehu de eko ene de eba. Na abusia yembonra yensem ni mu no. Eye Chief Justice Tukunu. Ene chese watutu bi amane eye A.Markins enye asemketo akra sisi ade A.Markins na wieye aba ono a odi case no ekodane Supreme Court no sisi a Supreme Court na akasa etwa no lash na enye asemketo akra they are saying say A.Markins cause problem to the state enye asemketo akra itabusia and I say Nkoma Mr. Solomon or the hot details about Bagbin on also no ono de isi ano what in baby thing A.Markins just say Neoma eja egune so a enye asemketo akra yensa emomre no ya be pese ya be me abidwafo no be me akona yakwa akoti ensema ekoso medamase.
It is void if it is not in line with the provisions in our 1992 Constitution. And remember, when a law is inconsistent with our Constitution, to the extent of the inconsistency, that provision becomes null and void. The NPP has not said so. So there is clarity. There is nothing unambiguous about the provisions in the NPP's Constitution and that of Article 97 H and G. And it was on the basis of that Speaker Michael Quay declared this seat from that seat vacant. Now, that's why I started by telling you that we have dishonest people. Reverend Professor Michael Quay, emphasis mine, his name is what? Reverend. Professor. The same person that gave the ruling in Parliament November 2020, Reverend was interviewed on Joy FM. The same issue presented to him, say, oh, no. He hopes Speaker Bagbin does not toe his line. It's not good at all. There are differences in this matter. And that unless and until the new patriotic party rise to heed Bagbin, they are still members of the party. Hey, Osofo, the intellectual dishonesty that is playing our elderly statement is what is at play today. Look, I agree 100% with Speaker Bagbin. In fact, the only problem that I had with Speaker Bagbin was his own problem he created at the beginning of this parliament, where he decided to make the new patriotic party the majority party. Senna, you have done a party group, majority group. There's still, whether group or whether Kenya went to Kenya or came back, it's still the majority. Senna, you have done a bit of mathematics. Is that not the case? I have never heard anywhere, unless today they have changed the syllabus, that 137 is greater than 137, or 137 is less than 137, or 137 is equal to 137. These are possible questions if you are asked in WASI or BEC or any university exam. Which one would you choose? Is 137 not equal to 137? So on what basis did Speaker Bagbin come to that conclusion that they needed to be a majority group, as Honorable wants us to believe? I believe that the Speaker was only acting based on common sense, because he realized that, look, when he had got into it, was a novelty. We had not had the experience of having a hung parliament. And so he needed, government business needed to go and move forward to save all of us. So in that regard, we needed to agree temporarily. And I believe that, I don't know for now whether Parliament itself, through their standing orders, have put in place certain things to checkmate this. Because, you see, it's going to happen the way our politics is going, we are going to experience a lot of these things. And unless and until we think into the future, we are likely to have certain scenarios that may make this country ungovernable. So Speaker did that. Because if you are going to enforce the laws or the provisions in our constitution, the moment Speaker linked a CMA to the NPP, clearly it means he had crossed carpet or he had vacated his seat, and that formula seat needed to be declared vacant. And also, a CMA couldn't have become the second deputy speaker, as is enshrined in Article 96B or so, that you cannot have the first and deputy speakers coming from the same political party. So all of us as a country decided to put on with that anomaly. It was an illegality, but for the sake of the country moving forward, and to also give Parliament that laxity to also correct some of these things, that is why we all moved on. Lo and behold, a similar situation happens today, 2024, that people have decided to go as independent candidates, leaving the parties on which ticket they went to Parliament to go and contest as independent candidates. The same situation, same circumstances, same facts. In this case, the character that was involved in the 2020 is also involved. The matter is moved in Parliament, Senator, and the same people that initiated in 2020 say, oh no, it is not like that. We were born in Buckingham Palace and understand the English language more than anybody. It doesn't mean that. If you people didn't realize we made a mistake yesterday, we are telling you today. And that we are going to the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to direct Parliament as to what to do. But here, let me also blame the NDC party. I don't think they are strategic enough. On what was the business of the former minority leader going on a campaign platform to even go and announce to the world that they were going to move a motion to remove 4 MPs? What was the business? You have gone into a caucus meeting. You have taken a decision that this is what we are going to do. You were telling me to do what? But for that pronouncement, Afenyo himself couldn't have gone to the Supreme Court, because how were you going to go to Supreme Court that, when I slept, I dreamt that the NDC would be moving this motion, so I am taking the lead at the Supreme Court to file a motion. So clearly something wasn't adding up. But be that as may, the man went to Supreme Court for interpretation of Article 97. So I decided to go and buy, you see it's fresh, the 1992 Constitution. When I went to the bookshop, I was thinking they would demand my law certificate before they sell this Constitution to me. Because the way and manner people are behaving in this country, it is as though you will need a law certificate to understand simple English. With your permission, let's go to Article 97 and see whether or not it is something God has to interpret for you and I to understand. The H and the J, or the J and the H. Article 97, 1, the J. So if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election to Parliament to join another party, or seeks to remain in Parliament as an independent member. So now, which of this provision don't you understand? The H. If he was elected a member of Parliament as an independent candidate and joins a political party. Look, to further be assured that what Speaker Bagbin did was right, the NPP itself, in the Formina constituency, why do you think they decided to hold on to their primaries? Having done or undertaken all the primaries in all the other constituencies in January. Because they knew that if they had done that in January and the CMA had contested clearly that seat would have to be declared as a vacant seat for a fresh election to be conducted, which they are not sure whether or not they win. And so they had to wait till the time the EC opened nomination. As we speak, on record, Esiama is a member of the New Patriotic Party who is going to contest on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. I don't see how anybody can contest on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party when the person is not a member of the party. Now fast forward. Afenyo goes to Supreme Court. Supreme Court gives its orders that it has to be stayed. The ruling of the Speaker has to be stayed. So you need the Speaker to make a pronouncement on the subject matter. When Speaker recalled Parliament the first time, it was the same NPP members that decided not to go to the chamber, for which reason the Speaker said, look, we had a quorum to do business, but we did not have a quorum to take decisions. So what is the point in sitting in Parliament House when you cannot take any decision? So he adjourned proceedings, Senator, indefinite. Now the same constitution allows members of Parliament to also, if they are 15%, to recall Parliament, and Speaker will be obliged to do so. NPP members did so, and Speaker had to follow the constitution, so he recalled Parliament. The constitutional crisis. The Speaker is operating within the constitution. Yet again, Speaker recalls Parliament, and those that insisted that Parliament be recalled said they were in a meeting for almost 2 hours. They were chilling, drinking mulatto, drinking Milo, cheese, all sort of things. 2 hours. They won't even go to the chamber. One Speaker went there, saw the numbers, and realized that they couldn't do anything meaningful. He then again adjourned proceedings indefinite. Immediately he did that, they surfaced that, oh, we were in our rooms, we were in our cubicles, we were having a meeting, and that Speaker should have been there for like 5 hours. And that why didn't Speaker make the ruling that the NDC side should sit at the left place for them to come and sit at the right side? And that is why they did not attend. Mind you, this current crop of leaders of the NPP, I don't know where they came from. They don't resemble people that have gone through the mill in the NPP. So shallow, so weak, arrogant. The more reason why the people of this country gave us 137 was the fact that the NPP and the NDC have been arguing that they all want to develop this country to the level that all of us want. And so the Ghanaians sat back and said, well, if all of you are preaching that you want to develop this country to its full potential, then we are giving you an even number. Go to Parliament and build consensus so that we will move forward. This is the sort of consensus that they have given to us. Instead of going to the chamber to, as it were, push the Speaker into a corner where he will make a determination, we will see whether or not he will respect the decision of the Supreme Court. They decided not to do so and sit in the comfort of your homes. When in fact, when Parliament is recalled, it is you and I's taxes that are used to fuel their vehicles and other expenses. They did not do so. But you see, Senna, what does this teach us as a country? And this is where I want to draw the attention of the voting population in this country. That, look, if you are still going to vote in the way and manner you have been doing in the last 32 years, putting your trust in these two political parties, you are not going to get anywhere. The election 2024 must lead us into that determination or conclusion on a candidate who is a level-headed person. We have a president occupying the Jubilee House whose interest is only about himself and his few cabal. So all programs and policies that he sends to Parliament are are programs and policies that will benefit him and his circle. Is it not interesting that this urgent recall of Parliament, the issues that were to be tabled for discussions included, what's the name? Tax freebies to themselves. Mind you, those companies that they have sent to Parliament is not for any foreign, it is for themselves. Tax exemptions. You know why would Katie Hammond be furious with adjournment of what's the name? Parliament proceedings? Because he's the Minister of Trade and Industry. They want to just go and give these tax exemptions so that they will pass back and go and take and enrich themselves. IS running into hundreds of millions of dollars while we are running around looking for loans, sometimes less than what they want us to give as freebies. So clearly, it is selfish interest that is playing. In this last hour, they want to push items through that will sustain them when they are in opposition. I hear that they also want, as a matter of urgency, to pass a law that will establish JB Dangwa University or whatever. For what? And you see, Parliament passed the LGBTQ, or what is it, the proper human value bill, is that not the case? And sent it to the president of the land. Someone went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court of the land has not been called about it. The president said he was not going to touch it, just because there was a certain lady called Kamala Harris who had visited this country and warned these adults. This woman was able to fly all the way from the United States of America, come to Ghana and warn two adults, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and President Akuffo, that if you dare sign this document, we will be done with you. So they decided to shield it. That is not a concern to the people of this country, neither is it a concern to the president. That Parliament, that is representing all of us, decided to settle on the matter, and they are not interested. And that is why you will need that level-headed president who will be sending good bills, good deals to Parliament that will benefit all of us. In election 2024, my candidate, Alan Tremanti, is telling you that make him the president. So that developmental bills, policies, programs, as contained in the Great Transformation Plan, will be sent to Parliament. But I can assure you that in the Parliament of 2025, or in our governance structure, there will be an independent candidate as president. I'm sure the NDC will be the majority party in Parliament, NPP will be the minority party, so that we will build that consensus in moving the country forward. So it is much ado about nothing. There is no constitutional crisis. And I believe that the Chief Justice, the pronouncement he made after his ruling was unnecessary, was uncalled for, that we were in the constitutional crisis, when in fact the matter that was before her had nothing to do with constitutional crisis, and that the new patriotic party led by A.Markins, who himself took the matter to court, was the one creating more problems for this country. That the party, the MPs are not ready to work. They are only wasting our time because they know they don't have any serious or urgent matter to discuss. And I believe that the Speaker must stand on his feet and not allow anybody to take us for a ride. We are not ready for that. We are not ready for these tricks. We have had one too many of this parliament, a parliament that was supposed to checkmate. And this must also be an eye-opener. Because when the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice was ruling, one of the, as it were, in a matter that Chǎǒš was calling on Justice Gau, to recuse himself from the bench, you heard what the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice said, that this judge passed through parliamentary vetting. Some of us sent petitions to Parliament that Ken Oforiatta must not be passed. They gave him an overwhelming endorsement. Hey, Dr. Park, you gave Ken Oforiatta that the entire country was yearning for him to be sacked. So, Next time when you have justices passing through your hands, now I know there are two. You have to open your eyes, shine your eyes. Let the interest of the country be in your bosom in determining whether or not they should go through. It's not about friends matter. It's about the interest of this country. And when we are done in that way, we will not have what we call constitutional crisis. There's nothing like constitutional crisis. We are living in peace, and that Ghana will rise and continue to rise. I end my submission.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Solomon also is from the...
Okay. Abusia, we and some apostle. Our political highway. So, Afenyo Markins and every year. Aba enye asɛm to akra sisi akra no supreme court for no krampo apaba ɛwɔ ne side enye asɛm to akra yɛbɛde abidwafo ase sɛ ɔmogye pene kokoti sa audio no ɛde emaye aha POG Media so na supreme court ɛkyerɛ sɛ Afenyo Markins cause problem to the state no aban Bagbin so ɛde ne nan esikoma ɔkyerɛ sɛ he will not allow anybody to take him for a rider. Abusia enye asem to akwa. Nti Afenyo Markins Bagbin so nensama ode etuan. So on one chance Emma obia embe using na na se obia emfa nanim emba ye for. Abusia yen say mombre ne beda masek na ye de mo say ase.